exchanges. Another carry from Norris, gets the ball out to the number 6. Number 4, Megan Miles, controls at the back. Pick and go from the Welshwoman. Referee still playing advantage. York are keeping this in the forwards. Pomerol out to the backs. Oh. And that broke down there, and we'll be back for the advantage. Referee calling a different penalty advantage there. Not rolling away there, the breakdown. York go quickly, tap and go from Pomerol. Charlie Norris with a big run up. Big carry. Takes 2 Lancaster players to bring him down. Keeping it in the forwards. Big carry, now into the 22. Can York get quick ball here? Out to the right, again it's Norris with a big carry. Pomerol again brings that to the left. The ball isn't brilliant. Backwards say the referee. Good footwork there from the number 6. Pomerol against the left-hand side. It's the club president, Jennifer Cox-Kersley, with another big carry. York keeping possession here, but they're standing quite deep. Another big run up from the loose head prop. Another advantage from, and it goes out the back. That is, I have to say, that's probably, what, 5-6 penalties on the bounce there for Lancaster?
Yeah, you can really tell that everybody really wants it, but because of that, they're sort of starting to lose their discipline. It'll be really important for them going forwards that they sort of regain that composure and stop giving away these silly penalties.
Applying this massive pressure is York, and it's really causing a lot of gain on the pitch, leading to these increasing penalties. It's a really brilliant watch. It's such a drive, and it's been
set piece here from York. Norris again with a big run up, rugby league style. He keeps going. Is the ball there for Pomerol at the back? Yes, it is. Out to number 2, Fionn Wick. Quick ball here for Pomerol. Out the back to the fly half. Katie Jackson, the inside centre. York closing in onto the try line. Out the back here. Jocelyn McNabb there keeping the ball alive. And that is another penalty for a high tackle.
We're in Lancaster's 22 now. It's really not a place you want to be giving away silly penalties. We want to be looking for the turnover, really. But I think everybody's getting a bit caught up in the moment.
Yeah, you want the captain sort of speaking in the ear soon, reminding the official, of course, that Lancaster have been conceding quite a few penalties. But on the other hand, they're still disrupting York's attack. It's not quite flowing yet. They've done well to survive this amount of pressure.
I definitely agree. I'd say nobody looks comfortable and settled into the game yet. It is definitely still all to play for. I wouldn't say any team looks far in the lead at the moment.
The referee is now speaking to one of the co-captains. York kick to touch and throw in here from Wick. It's untidy and it's another turnover, and Lancaster survive this period of pressure. Can they clear their lines? They're keeping it in the forwards to get some gain line, and then there's a little knock on. But the referee goes back to the knock on in the line out, and we'll have a scrum to Lancaster. This will be a good opportunity for York to have another massive scrum.
This would be an amazing opportunity for York to have a massive scrum. They always perform well in these scrums. And even if they don't, they always have a great defensive remake-up after the end.
So just a reminder for our listeners, the score is 7-0 to Lancaster. Lancaster with an early score courtesy of Chiara Rivetto. And there's an early substitution here for York as number 16, Marta Bellis comes on. Oh, sorry, no, number 16, Stavin. Abby Stavin comes onto the field. Apologies if any listeners can hear some fruity language. We are quite close to some Ultra supporters, but that is not us. That is not anyone of Rose's media. Can Lancaster survive this scrum?
You'd assume that this would be a really good time for a nice long exit kick, regain some of the territory that we've lost from Lancaster.
It's a hell of a battle in that front row, but they get the ball out. And a lot of pressure there on the full-back.
Really good pressure on the kick.
Can York capitalise? It's in the hands of Emily Baird. They're keeping the ball alive.
Emily Bird, the offhand champion, has kept the ball in our hands, and I'm so incredibly impressed at this play. Jennifer with a smashing ruck. It's
that was
brilliant.
the club president there with a big bruising carry. Oh, big outside break from Megan Maycock, the tight head prop.
Huge carry.
Just on the outside the 22. Here's Katie Jackson, one of the
Absolute
players
powerhouse.
of last year's win at Roses 2024. Although she was playing at open side flanker, she's converted to inside centre this season. Again, it's the club president, Cox Kersley.
Megan Maycock, very much someone to trust with the ball. It's completely safe in her hands, and she will drive it through.
And no release there at the breakdown, and Lancaster survive again.
I'd say they definitely really need to gain some territory back. And maybe this line out will be a good time for them to do that. So there's a line out just outside the 22 in favour of Lancaster now. I'm assuming they're going to be hoping to take it down the wing or take that big kick and regain some of the territory that they've lost.
So Lancaster through Branwen Vaughan, the co-captain, throw in. Pressure there at the line out. But Lancaster retain possession of the ball at number 5. Williamson, and here they've got numbers there if they can use it, but swallowed up by the tackles.
Great catch from Olivia.
Just a reminder for listeners listening on radio, it's very, very windy, and that is definitely affecting ball play here. There have been a lot of passes on the floor, but it's also owing to breakdown pressure. But that is a penalty turnover at the breakdown. So the fly half, Maddie Street aim to kick this deep into Lancaster territory. She does not quite make touch.
By Rosie Pearman. Passed off to Shannon of the forwards.
Again, the chants are coming out thick and fast. We apologise if anyone picks up any fruity language.
It is, however, brilliant to see all that support. It's amazing on both ends and quite entertaining.
Just a reminder, this is the closing game of the actual tournament. How big is it that they've chosen women's rugby as the closing tournament of Roses 2025?
Truly amazing. It's a sport that deserves so much more attention than it receives, and I'm so confident that this game will bring some highlights and draw in new players.
As we go into the game, I'll be bringing out some facts and trivia. Obviously, of course, this is the year of the Women's Rugby Union World Cup, which is going to be played here in York with 6 pool stage matches. More on that as we come now. But Lancaster go forward through the forwards. Pomeril digs it out, going out to the fly half. Maddie Street. What will York do here? Katie Jackson with another run-up.
Another strong run onto the middle of the pitch, which it might be a bit wiser to sway out onto the wings. Especially on the weaker side, such as the left, where less players are congregating.
York's trying to use the offloading game. Maycock with the offload to Miles, the Welshwoman. Keeping on to the right-hand side on the blind side. Can they keep the ball alive? York making decent ground here. Pomeril brings it back to the open side. Big run-up from the number 6. Can they keep quick ball?
York is staying really dominant in the contact area, I've got to be honest.
Oh, they've got an overlap here if they can exploit it.
Oh.
Lovely footwork there from the inside winger, Jayan Orbin.
Amazing work from Shan. Truly an amazing carry. She really took that offhand and drove it home, and it's really gained some pitch ground.
York trying to keep the ball alive. Oh, and it's been lost there at the breakdown. Oh, but referee says not rolling away there from Lancaster. Again, another breakdown penalty.
York are doing really well at running towards their support and supporting their own players, and I think that's what's allowing them to be so dominant around the breakdown area, is that there's always multiple players there to support them.
Ref calls time as a player goes down injured. Your thoughts on Roses 2025?
It's been a brilliant show. It's truly been amazing. The amount of sports that is able to be viewed, it's like a full range.
It's just one of the best weekends of the year. It's so much fun getting to play your matches, but also support your friends, discover new sports. It's been really, really great fun. My grandma discovered ultimate frisbee yesterday, so it's really been a weekend.
And the player going off there is Charlie Norris.
Off goes Charlie Norris, and in comes Imo, another powerhouse. But will the team be able to remain the same without that hand?
A lot of early involvements there from Charlie Norris, who has gone off for a head injury assessment. But the ref calls penalty for not rolling away at the breakdown. It looks like York are going to play another set-piece move, are they? Let's see what they're doing here. Oh, no, Street is going to try and kick this to touch. Referee is just pointing out the exact mark, and Street will ready to clear into touch, seeing if she can get as deep as possible. She makes touch nice and high, and York are just on the 22.
The ball is actually stuck in the tree, so I'm hoping a new ball. There we go, there's a new ball coming along. Hopefully somebody will be willing to climb that tree later.
Apologies for the state staff. I have to deal with that in a bit. But yeah. Again, ever since that early try, it's just been York dominance. But then York will be frustrated they haven't capitalised.
Yeah, they're really getting into some really good opportunities, but just sort of failing at the final hurdle. But, you know, they are really dominant, and you can see a try is soon in their future. They're working hard. The work rate is staying up from both sides, actually.
The line-out was slightly messy there, but Pomerol picks up at the back. Can forwards keep possession? Looks like it's so. Big run-up from the number 4. Again, another advantage, offside. York keep it tight through the forwards. Cox Kersley with another big bruising carry. York aiming here to keep, and a slight knock on there, which means ref will come back for another penalty. It looks like York were quite narrow there. Didn't look like they were trying to spread to the wings exactly.
See, they're getting something we'd refer to as try-line fever, where they're getting a bit too close and getting too energetic when they should really be playing to shape. However, there is still time, there is still energy, and there's definitely still power left in all these rugby players. And Lancashire is so aware of this issue of getting way too close to the try line and panic, and they're really setting up defensively, and it's so even and very tactical.
It's really impressive to defend in your own half, let alone your own 22 for this long. So Lancaster have been putting in a real shift on defence. Their bodies must be tired by now.
And again, Lancaster survive another wave. So we're back onto the 22 now. You mentioned about getting a new sort of scrum specialist coaching. Is that correct?
We did. He is called Dave, and he's a brilliant, brilliant man. He's been teaching the freeze a lot, and they've improved so much. That was played yesterday, and you could really see all the improvements that these people that had never touched a rugby ball had made. He's been doing scrum machines sessions, and it's really made a shift in the York scrum's ability.
I mean, yeah, it definitely seen the improvement there. Just a reminder for our listeners that the York thirds won the fixture, but it was the Lancaster twos that won there.
No, actually, so Lancaster has won both of their fixtures so far, so it's all to play for here today.
Oh, okay, apologies. I must have seen an incorrect score there.
It was a great fight though between the two teams on yesterday. Both teams played so well for both fixtures. It's been a really great weekend of women's rugby.
And referee says an early push on the scrum there, so York get the free kick. Scrum's been a good battle so far. No, one scrum York seems to be dominant, the next scrum Lancaster seems to be dominant. What are your thoughts there?
They're very evenly matched. It's anyone's game, really.
Cox Kersley with a run-up. Takes the tackle from number 5. The replacement back row with a big run-up, number 18. Pomerol out the back to street the fly half. Jackson here at 12. Out the back again to street the fly half. Over on the left.
Really important tackle there made by number 13, Olivia Gowland, my housemate.
York starting to throw some shapes. Just still on the inside the 22 for now. Another carry with the forwards. Cox Kersley again keeps the ball alive to her fly half. It's breaking down a little bit. Can they keep support? Can they keep ruck ball? Yes, they do. Out the back to Jackson. So Katie Jackson converted from open side to inside centre this year. How do you think that's gone for York this year?
She has tucked to it like a bird to fly. It's really the position I do think she was born for, and she might disagree, but she is a brilliant player when it comes to that position. She's such a powerhouse, and she's able to run straight through these lines. And if not straight through, take at least 3 players with her.
Here we go, Jackson again with a big double tackle. Ref says play on. All went backwards.
Maddie absolutely fighting with that ball. She is not letting go for dear life. It's brilliant. And then John saving the ball once again.
Ref says play on. York now back to almost inside the half.
Some really dominant tackles there from Lancaster, really pushing them back into their own half. Oh, gosh. Oh, lovely clear out from Bella O'Geary and Talia Treble with massive tackle there.
Referee calls advantage, playing the 9 there. Apologies there for any language you may have heard. As referee still plays advantage. York still wanting to keep this in the forwards. As with other Bucks fixtures, there'll always be some spicy chat on the sidelines.
Oh, charged down by Chiara Veto. But it was offside.
It was an amazing play. If that had gone to plan, there would have been a very clear shot to the try line. Really, Lancaster has really got their game on. It's brilliant.
Street clears again to touch. Another throw in for Lancaster. For York, sorry.
York are really putting up a fight after the last time they played Lancaster. It's really clear that they've been working on everything that went wrong last time, and so it's really nice to see an evenly matched game.
York now just on the outside of the 22. What can they do here? Will they try and set up a maul and drive, or are they going to launch a set-piece play? Let's see what they launch here from the line out. Very clean take there. Pomerol to Street. Norris back on the field from a head injury assessment.
Oh.
Chased down by the replacement for Lancaster, Bajamo. Oof, heavy collision there.
Great hands from number 17 on York's side there.
Oof. Again, the handling is not. It's nervous out there. It's.
Definitely from both sides. I think that the pressure is making everybody nervous. There's also a lot of wind here today, which is never going to make it any easier for anybody.
And an unfortunate knock-on in there in front of the Lancaster Ultras.
It's really great to see so much support out from the 2s, the 3s, and teammates past from both sides. It's really great. Massive support for the women's rugby as our closing ceremony.
So Lancaster, do they have an opportunity? They scored their first try from a similar position, scrum just inside their own half. Players with the windy conditions keeping quite narrow to the ball, but we'll see what they can do here from their scrum. Williamson throws in the scrum half. Pressure from York, and interesting set-piece play. They've kicked for territory, and the ball has gone dead. Not quite a 50-22. So York have the ball. Good territory gain there from Lancaster.
That is an amazing play from Lancaster. They've fully gained so much ground, and it really will play off so well in their favour if they can get it out to that wing.
Going from being in their own 22 for so long so far, I'm sure that this is going to feel much nicer to be in a more dominant attacking position.
And for those listening on radio, it's just starting to spit with rain. So we'll just see how that goes. The rain wasn't forecast. It was only supposed to be overcast. But York try and survive.
Oh, great take from York.
The pressure is on for York. Charlie Norris again. What a weapon.
Lancaster really go into the breakdown here. Have they turned it over? Yes, they have. The hooker comes up with the ball.
This should have been absolute gold for Lancaster.
Williamson to the big number 5, Caitlin Notes.
Really dominant tackles there from Lancaster.
And there was another turnover penalty there. York did well to survive that little bit of period of pressure.
This might be the saving grace for York to get out of their own 22.
It's just that pressure around the breakdown seems to be really tripping Lancaster up.
They've tapped and goed.
Nice dominant tackle from Bella O'Geary there.
But Cox Kersey kept the ball alive, and York still make keeping the ball alive again. Charlie Norris, he has returned from a head injury assessment. Advanced again, Pomerol pick and go.
Oh, a good pick there from the number 9. on York's side.
York need to be going quite quickly here, and they keep it in the forwards. That's what they've been doing all game, really.
Let's go!
Elena, an absolute brilliant sport with the ball. She always seems to know how to play the field in her favour, and this slow divergence towards the wing is really playing off well, as Lancaster is just walking backwards instead of setting up and preparing.
Referee still says the ball is with York. Out the back here, Jackson still on her feet.
York are playing a very forward-heavy game here today. They're keeping it. Oh, a knock-on from York. Retrieved by number 13, Olivia Gowland. Going down the wing into Chiara Rivetto's hands. Nice and easy.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Shouting a fire from the coaches as that's a huge tackle from Norris on
Lovely
the Talia treble.
outs. Nice straight out the back to Eudora.
She's running around the outside.
One of our fastest players.
Still going.
How far can she go?
Still going.
Go on,
Still
Eudora!
going.
Yes, Eudora! That is her bread and butter. That is what she is good at. That is why she is on the first team starting. That is our club vice captain, and she is one of the top try scorers, as you said, in our league.
The top try scorer, I'm led to believe. That was an insane run. She started running, it's one of, I don't know if you believe me here, but I always used to hate it when coaches told you don't run like sideways, but that is the advantage of running sideways, because if you've got gas, you can use it to your advantage.
The thing is, a lot of people can't get away with the running sideways. Eudora has some of the best pace I've ever seen in a rugby player, even for a winger. So that is why she is our top try scorer. She can get away with it. She's the only one on our team who's allowed, but it pays off.
Yeah,
She's an absolute terror on the pitch, and York really, really needs to watch out for her and stop letting her getting around those wings. That sideways run is an absolute weapon, especially when it's used so well and so frequently, and it should become more easy to spot.
Lancaster were unsuccessful with the conversion there, so it is 12-0. We're about probably, I'd say, over halfway, I think, through the first half. Unfortunately, I know you guys watching on TV do have a live clock. On the ground, we don't, unfortunately. So we're guesstimating a little bit here, but thank you for your patience. Again, disappointing for York. So much pressure. Nothing on the scoreboard yet to show for it.
Lovely smiles for York. You can tell they are not ready to let this game go, and they shouldn't be, because it's in everyone's ballpark right now.
2 tries at this point of the game really isn't enough to feel comfortable on either side, so it really is still all to play for. York to kick and Lancaster to receive now.
Good deep kick from fly half Maddie Street. Awkward bounce, and there was a knock on there from the Lancaster outside centre, Olivia Gowland. So, oh no, the knock and not on. Referee says ball went backwards. So, Lancaster survived that spillage and a kick to clear.
Lovely attempted jackal there from Jen. She really has been practicing that, and the coaches have been emphasising its use in games.
That's a good carry there from the fullback, Hannah O'Leary.
Good. Oh, and it's been turned over by Talia Treble. Oh, but she was straight in off her feet, unfortunately.
York should be happy with this save. It really is a great, great opportunity to really play off and adapt to these changes.
Again, apologies if anyone heard any fruited language.
And we've got another line out for a kick to touch from a penalty for York. The lineouts have really been all to play for. It hasn't seemed that either team has much of an advantage. Both teams gaining turnovers at this point. So these are quite an interesting decider of what happens next.
So for those of you who have just joined us, we are live, simulcasted on Roses Live on YouTube. We are also on URY at 88.3 FM and on DAB. We're also on Bailrig FM for those of you hearing from Lancaster on 95.3 FM. The score is 12-0 to Lancaster. We're still in the first half of play as York try and launch an attack. But referee just stops play there just to make sure everything is all correct at the line-out.
Nice walk back from York, gaining more territory, and a lovely catch from Megan Miles.
A lot of pressure there from Lancaster, but York retain the ball. They'll
Great
keep
tackle
this in
from
the
Branwen
forwards.
Vaughan. Fun fact, Branwen Vaughan drinks 9 cups of tea a day. 9 cups of tea a day with sugar.
Maybe this is what's powering her through the pitch.
Another turnover there and a kick to clear. The ball is bouncing not brilliantly, but picked up by the fullback O'Leary.
Great pick up and a double tackle there from Lancaster. Again, it's a very forward-heavy game. I'm sure that everybody's starting to get tired now. Was there a little knock there? No, but it is a turnover again for Branwen Vaughan and her 9 cups of tea.
I think that carry sort of sums up York's game so far. You know, carry dominance, but not being able to do anything with it, which I think will be very frustrating.
It is purely about sticking to shape, and York are slightly losing their heads when it comes to this, but there is always a chance, and there's always the ability there. As you can see now, they are set up, and there they go. That was amazing carry from Charlie. Strong, powerful carry.
That took about 3 players to bring Charlie Norris down, and York keep the ball alive.
York keep getting into these really good scoring opportunities. They need to just make sure that the frustration of being so close so often doesn't get to them so that they can keep that level head for the rest of the game.
Fully agree.
Fortunately, there's not really been much of line breaks yet for York and there's a little ball is still alive. And obviously I'm saying unfortunately from a York perspective, as Pomerol brings out the back to streak the fly half. Can she bring it out the back? And it's a turnover there. Ref says Lancaster not rolling away.
Fun fact about Jocelyn, she is the child actor of Topsy and Tim. She is Topsy.
Now that is a fun fact.
Yes, and because of that, she is technically a BAFTA. Yes.
Wow.
My fact sheet was correct.
Well, no wonder Lancaster's nervous. They're playing against a BAFTA award-winning actress.
So, that was a good deep kick there from York.
That's put them into such a good opportunity. This is the time for them to score now.
Do you think they'll do a catch and drive here? They get the ball down?
They may do. There was also an opportunity for a front lifter carry, which would be such a good idea at this point, as the wing is quite empty.
Maybe a cheeky 1-2.
Cheeky 1-2 would be preferable. So would a try. Let's go.
The reserve hooker looking to throw in. There's a bit of pressure, but the ball is still there for York.
Not the clean take that they would have wanted. However, they are still in a really, really good opportunity. Big carry there from number 1. Oh, it's been stripped.
Yeah, there wasn't a release there from the tackle.
No release, that's okay. Branwen, don't fight.
Looks to be a quick tap and go here. We'll come to you just in a second. Norris with a big run up. Still going.
So close to the try line. So close to it.
She's got it. He's got it. Sorry, he's got it.
That was a great try from York. They really worked for it. Lancaster made them earn every bit of that, but in the end, it was exactly what they needed.
This should be a massive confidence booster. The crowd is going insane. They knew this was going to happen, and it's just needing to happen a couple more times.
A couple of words on Charlie Norris, please, for the listeners.
He is a truly amazing man and a very big inspiration. He has always been a brilliant try scorer. In trainings, he is an absolute powerhouse, and I'm so proud of him.
So yes, in case there is any listener confusion, Charlie goes by he, him pronouns and will be medically transitioning at the end of this season. So just if anyone thinks that we are accidentally misgendering, we are not. He goes by he, him pronouns. But that was a great finish in the corner there, and fly off Maddie Street looks to convert the try on the left-hand side.
This will be a difficult conversion for her to make.
Pressure is on.
Big run up, and
So
unfortunately it's just wide. So the score remains 5 points to 12. We are still in the first half of the final game of Roses 2025. The wind's really starting to kick in now, but that'll be York will be boosted by that. They've got what they've came for, and we'll see how Lancaster respond as they slowly walk up to the halfway line. And we're just sorting out to make sure we've got the correct ball. The ball bounces quite... obviously, we've had some dry weather, and that's obviously made the pitch very, very tough. You've obviously played in fixtures yourself for Roses this weekend. The pitch just hasn't been quite ideal, has it?
It's been very hard. I don't know about you, but I can be honest, my legs are black and blue just from landing on the floor yesterday.
Truly, shin splints galore. It's horrendous. And the fact that they are playing so brilliantly and so brutally on this pitch is truly a testament to the power of women's rugby.
It was the right wing, Emily Beard, who picks up the kick from the kickoff, picks up the ball from the... And there's a slight fumble there from the try scorer Norris, and that'll be a scrum to Lancaster on the 22.
A really, really good place to be having a scrum so close to the try line. A big drive here will really help to gain them some metres. But York's scrums have looked so strong so far that is easier said than done.
York will be set in a defensive line. Is there any predictable shapes that you'd assume Lancaster would go in?
Wouldn't you like to know? Yeah, there is. I think that there's a really big gap out on the wing, and I'm assuming that those centres will be running those hard lines, trying to create some shape in the middle of the pitch to eventually get it out to Chiara Rovetto again, similar to in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, so Lancaster lining up quite narrow here. We'll see if they spread out and fan out, looking to see if they can do some out-the-back formations. Pressure there from York, but the ball is there at the back for Williamson. The scrum half picks and goes. Referee says advantage.
Stopped by Jennifer.
Maybe slightly offside there, but Lancaster looked to strike. And there's a little knock on there.
Not good. There was a knock on there from Lancaster, going back to the advantage from the first tackle.
Yeah, maybe just slightly offside there. Obviously,
Yeah.
For listeners who aren't aware, there is now World Rugby have slightly updated the rules, and that you can't be sort of harassing the scrum half until they have passed the ball. So I think that's what the flanker there was guilty of. Understandable, adjusting to it.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
There have been so many new rules recently, and there were so many rules to begin with. It does get difficult to keep track. So, it's hard, especially as a flanker, when you're so looking to get off the line and make those first big hits. As a flanker myself.
Are you guys both forwards? Yes, that's correct, isn't it?
I've played forwards and backs. I know everything. If there's a line to run on the pitch, I know it by now.
Also played forward and backs. So back slightly less willingly. However, I will be a crash 12 if I'm needed.
He wouldn't be a crash 12, you know what I mean? So Lancaster here set up for the scrum. More pressure coming on in, but the number 8 picks and goes. Gets the ball out the back.
That was a silly pass.
It was a very, very anxious pass from Lancaster. If they just kept hold of it, they would have kept that ball. And again, the pressure York is applying is causing some very stressed passes, and it's leading to a lot of mistakes.
Well
again, these stressed passes are costing Lancaster so much, and all they need to do is play to their strengths, which they clearly have.
Street unlucky there to have not...
Offside. Okay, Lancaster will be kicking themselves for that. It's one of those things that just happens when it all gets a little bit messy like that. It's very easy to get yourself in the wrong place.
York slightly lucky there. I don't think Street was making a big effort to move. And that is half time, or is that? So that's half time, and the score is 12 points to 5. Lancaster in the lead on the final day of Roses 2025, live on YSTV, LA1, and then URY on DAB and 88.3 FM, Barrig FM on 95.3 FM. We'll continue to bring you half-time analysis from our commentary team here on the 22 acres here at York. Your thoughts as a whole on that first half?
I mean, what a half. It's really been all to play for from both sides. But there's been some really, really, really strong attack from York, definitely. A very forward-heavy game. But Lancaster's defence has so far been just about holding up. We've really been drilling that, so I know that everybody's going to be quite proud of the way that they performed in that half.
They should all be so proud of themselves. Lancaster's really put a shift in, and their defensive line is something to marvel at. Yeah. It's a brilliant, brilliant structure. You can tell they've been working on it and perfecting it. They also use great use of their backs. They are fully waiting for that big line to get it out. York just needs to stay strong and keep these tries coming, because I know they can.
This game is not decided yet. Only a 7 points difference between the two teams. It is still all to play for. So yeah, definitely it was a game where York had the majority of the possession.
Yeah.
Lancaster conceded a lot of penalties, but they defended really well. They've disrupted constantly. York have not been able to get into a real rhythm in their backs. Obviously, that is to do with the wind. The wind makes it hard to hear. I know that from playing myself. So and obviously Lancaster have looked slicker on attack, and that's why they've got their 2 tries. But a really good way to, what an occasion to finish another amazing Roses 2025.
Yes, definitely. I think York's possession has been really, really strong, and I think that judging by the noise, there's been a lot of moments where everybody thought this is it, this is their time to score, and they just struggled to capitalise on that a few times. But their try that they did score, what a try. They really worked hard for it, and the big carry at the end, I mean, nobody can deny that they definitely earned that try.
Especially with Lancaster with the 2 early tries, you can tell that they're really ready for this game, and they were so ready to take that advantage of that early time. Hopefully York could keep this break and take it to talk to their team. Same with Lancaster, also talking to their team. They just need to keep it coming and keep it going, and just to get those extra tries in and hopefully even out the score or maximise the score.
Yeah, absolutely. So we haven't had the official confirmation yet. But it is suspected that this will be another victory for Lancaster. That will be a 4th Roses victory for Lancaster. That has never been done in the history of Roses. It is the first time that York would have lost successive back-to-back Roses since the 70s. But it has been a much tighter tournament. The results was not, the whole Roses tournament was not decided on Saturday. It was still all to play for this morning. I haven't seen the official points tally, but I know that York would have scored more than what they have done in previous years. Obviously, it's disappointing that they haven't got a home victory, but you can see the progress being made out there.
Yeah, it would be a disappointing loss. However, we are relying on this rugby match just to see if we can get a York win. However, Lancaster will be making history if they can get this. And if they cross that finish line, it'll be brilliant.
It makes for a really exciting Sunday when it becomes so close on a Saturday night. In previous years, it's been won by this point, but I think it just makes the matches all the more exciting on the Sunday morning when it's all to play for. Oh, it's cold.
Absolutely. So I've got some sort of facts for you. So apparently, women's rugby has been played at Roses since 1980. So for pretty much a substantial period of the of the tournament, of the tournament's history, women's rugby has been a focal part of this. As I believe ref is ready to call half-time. But yeah, apparently, and I haven't been able to independently verify this, so I'm not sure if it was, because obviously teams form and then disband. It could have been it could have been York St John, I'm not entirely sure, but I found out that it was a York University women's side that was one of the founding clubs of the Women's Rugby Football Union in 1983, which has since obviously then been absorbed into the RFU. So women's rugby is embedded in the history of women's rugby itself, has a lot to sort of, that's embedded here at University of York.
It's an amazing fact, and it's truly showing here today. The support is insane. You've got both sides screaming, chanting, signs made, and they are shouting now.
Maddie Street is ready to resume the second half. York 7 points down. The score is 12 points to 5 to Lancaster. What will this second half entail in what is the final game of Roses 25? The ref blows off the whistle and Street kicks off more or less down the middle. Bouncing ball.
Beautifully high kick from Maddie, really got some ground back, and that defensive line is already set. Just got to watch their spacing and get ready for that tackle.
There was a bit of a bounce pass there, but great recovery there from Bajamo as she uses her leg drive to get up to near the 10-metre line.
Just a really strong player in contact and also on the space.
That's
Big
a huge
kick.
Huge kick there from the replacement back.
And great pressure from Lancaster as they come up on that kick chase.
There's not been very many clean catches. I think both teams have been able to put both sides under a lot of pressure through kicks, bounce balls. It's nervous up there as Street clears for touch, giving York some reprieve, but Lancaster are well inside the York half.
Yeah, York will be happy for that line out. This is going to be a really good opportunity for them to gain back some territory and use their forwards again to go down the middle of the pitch as they've been doing so well so far.
No 50-22s yet in this game, but that was a good clearance kick from York as Lancaster set up. Any pressure here at the line out? There's a lot of pressure, but the ball is still there for Lancaster. Out to the number 7
Lancaster
Manda.
keeping hold of that
out
ball
the back
was
again.
a good play.
Big run up there by the inside centre for Lancaster. Number 12, Polly Reed, the captain of the seconds, and they're playing today for the firsts. Big tackles coming in, but that's huge leg drive there from Provetto. And Lancaster sort of keeping inside. Again, the ball is not great and pressure on there.
York needs to abuse this ball going backwards to gain this field and gain back the game.
Megan Miles hanging on to Bella Ojiri for dear life there as Williamson comes out to the left-hand side. Number 20, the replacement fly half.
Great crossfield kick.
She's been doing this ever since she's come on, trying to put loads of pressure on York.
Those high balls are really hard to catch, especially with the weather as it is today. It becomes a little more unpredictable when the wind is out.
York not really been able to kind of, they've not had the chance really to counter-attack. Not a lot of clean catches. That is because of the pressure and the quality of kicking that Lancaster's producing
Lancaster
today.
has got this pressure on. However, there's a small gap within that defensive line currently, and they should really take that advantage. And a kick out of touch.
That was a good kick there, clearing out of touch, and good penalty kick there, and Lancaster and York, are ready to launch their first attack of the second half. Again, we could talk about how big this is. I can go on about it for ages. We all love rugby union here. But what a way to just finish the season, regardless of the result for both teams, to finish on Roses 2025 as the closing game.
Brilliant way to celebrate. It's an amazing sport with amazing people, and you really, as a team, grow as a family.
So, a lovely carry there from Charlie Norris, bringing York up to just inside the 10-metre line out on their own half. If I can get my words out. Pomerol. Running from deep York.
Here comes Abby Stovin.
Abby Stavin with the carry. Pomerol again out to street the forwards. Norris on the inside ball. Still going. Leg drive.
Four players holding on to Charlie Norris there just to try slow him down.
And again, Street barking orders there to her forwards. Let's bring this in to a pick and go game.
A brilliant pass from Evie to Ruby Finch to then charge it into that front line that's becoming impenetrable.
Louise Hamilton, the captain, leading from the front at blindside flanker. Out the backs and a knock on there and turnover to Lancaster. Williamson gets the ball out to the number 2. Slightly high
tackle there.
Just brushing over and a chance now for Lancaster to kick this deep into touch and get some territory with that penalty kick.
They've got the wind on their side now, so hopefully it should be a little bit better. And are we going to see a card here?
So the ref is in his pocket. He's discussing with captain Louise Hamilton, and it is a yellow card to York's try scorer, Charlie Norris.
That will be a blow.
As you say, that will be a blow. York down to 14 players for 10 minutes. It's just one of those things, high speed, nothing, of course, intentional, but, the referee applying the law there, and York are down to 14 players for 10 minutes. How do York see out this period, and how do Lancaster take advantage?
I really think that Lancaster can take advantage. They've been so strong on the wings so far that having that one less number in the defensive line is really going to benefit them. Of course, that is a bit of a problem for York. However, they still have really, really strong forwards, so they can still play the game that they want to play. They just have to make sure not to let Lancaster dictate how they play their match.
Still yet to be a catch and drive here in this game, as I believe Lancaster have turned that over. Good pressure there at the line out, and York look to play. Katie Jackson under a bit of pressure there from I believe Bajamo. Yes, that is correct. And York look to go through another big carry there through the forwards. Stavin again, the replacement front rower with a big carry. Ball in open play. Here it is, the club captain. I mean, her carry stats, Jennifer Cox-Kersley, the captain of the club, the president of York, sorry, it must be ridiculous. As York look to play here, and they've knocked it on, but referee calls advantage over, and a York player has gone down. So
and that's
referee
the time off for an injury over there.
So, let's have a look. So, you know, York have had a tough season. Injuries, players on placement, players have graduated. But we are going into a World Cup year. If listeners aren't aware, there's going to be 6 World Cup games played here in York. The University of York is going to be used as a training ground for at least 4 teams, I'm led to believe. You know, the impact that could have on not just the women's team here at University of York, but University of York sport itself, that could be not only massive, but, you know, very timely when people are very concerned about closing this gulf between York and Lancaster.
Hopefully it will draw in some new players and some new faces. It would be a really, really great opportunity to then capitalise on these sorts of situations.
Yeah, and some thoughts on how do you think this World Cup is going to go this year? I mean, obviously, Red Rose is the favourites, but it still could be anyone's tournament. Could be Canada, could be New Zealand, could even be France. What do you think is going to be the highlight of the tournament this year?
Indeed, it could be. I am very excited to see the Red Rose games. I'm a Red Roses fan through and through, and it will be a brilliant watch.
It's really exciting for women's sport to be able to see people at the top of their game playing and training every single day, especially in the place where we get to train ourselves.
And that was a huge turnover there by the captain, who, and the ref has brought that back, playing the ball on the floor. So York thought they had the turnover there, but referee calls play back. And huge shouts there from the coaches and the players, pointing out that York are being too generous in the meter they're giving Lancaster. And the coaches bring on the reinforcements for York.
Big set of substitutions there, 5 players on, 5 players off. That's going to really help York out, some fresh legs to keep up the energy as we go into the second half.
So
hopefully improve the atmosphere.
Next break of play, I'm going to ask for your hot take regarding this year's World Cup. So just keep that in mind. I'm interested to know what your hot take is going to be about the Women's Rugby World Cup this year in 2025. Of course, Lancaster still with the 1-player advantage as Williamson looks to feed into the scrum. Scrum just off the centre of the pitch, inside York's own half. Lancaster have been very fruitful off set piece moves, but a bit of commentary curse as Lancaster are judged to have engaged too early. Free kick to York. What will York do here? They can tap and go. They can go for another scrum. It looks like, or they can obviously clear for touch. Street's having a word with the referee.
It changes things a little bit with the new rules. At a free kick, you can no longer call a scrum. You have to go for a kick. So it takes away a few of their opportunities.
Yes, apologies.
I know this as I was informed yesterday by my referee.
Yeah, thank you, assistant linesman. They tap and go, and it's a big carry there from the tight head prop. Still going, up to the halfway line. Can York capitalise off this line break?
Megan Maycock absolutely driving that hard line and ploughing through the opposition.
Inside the half now at York, and there's just a bit of a fumble there, but that was a result of Lancaster being offside. Yes, of course, World Rugby introducing new laws, trying to speed up the game. We've talked a lot about Lancaster's indiscipline throughout the game, and it's going to be a yellow card to one of their replacements, so it's all even, 14 on 14.
Yeah, so that is actually Kit's debut on the first team today. Only took up rugby this year at university and has progressed from the bench on the twos to playing for the ones at Roses. So a really great season for her.
York looking to tap and go. What's going to be the set piece play here? Ref just make sure it's on the exact mark. And big run up from the number 19.
What a great dominant take into contact there from York.
The loose head prop with another big carry. The vice captain, Ruby Finch. Pomerol digging out for the ball. It's a bit slow at that breakdown. Katie Jackson out the back. Still going the big inside centre. A taliswoman for this University of York side. Cox Kersley, the club president, with another massive carry.
Lancaster are doing really well at keeping their energy up on defence. The line speed is staying up. They just need to keep making those more dominant tackles. And then we can make sure that they are capitalising on the holes in York's attack. Okay, and there's a bit of a messy ruck there.
Big carry there from the replacement number 19. Ref says play on. Lancaster appealing that there was a...
there's
and
an injury and a medic on time off on the York side.
Referee quick to the whistle there. We hope she's okay. Medic straight onto the field and an opportunity for players to reset. 14 on 14. Even it's not going to be long before York will probably be back up to a full complement.
Yeah.
This yellow card period could very well decide the match.
York getting their player on very soon, actually, I'd imagine now, will definitely challenge the Lancaster side somewhat. So they're going to need to make sure they're on it with that defence.
So we've got a break in play now. So I'm just going to go back to my original question. Do you have a hot take for this year's Rugby World Cup?
I do think the media coverage should be more for the Rugby World Cup, the same way it is for the Football World Cup. It really isn't, and it's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it is all over BBC, BBC iPlayer, BBC Sport. Not obviously, but as you point out, all of the games will be live on terrestrial television. So yes, there is definitely still a huge disparity. I'm thinking particularly within the women's game itself, between PWR to actual international games, 6 stations, TV coverage, attendances. There's a big disparity there, and that's what they'll want to close this World Cup.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely working hard towards it. More and more international teams becoming pro as well. So I think that's really nice to see. And we're clapping off the York player. We really don't want to see anybody from either team get hurt. It's not about that. So big respect to her as she goes off the pitch, and everybody will be looking now to keep a cool head as we restart play.
Do you have a hot take for the World Cup, just quickly?
Yes, my World Cup hot take is that we can't just be backing the Red Roses. I think that an international team is going to come out and really shock us. I think of players in America, for example.
Interesting. Well, America, of course, will be playing a match here in York.
Yes.
So a certain Alona Marr could very well be playing at LNER Community Stadium in August. But obviously there are loads more talented players in that USA Eagles squad. They're the only team other than New Zealand and England to have won the World Cup. They won the first World Cup in 1991. They do have the potential to upset. There are lots of teams who have the potential to upset as we restart games here. And York do a little switch play to Katie Jackson on the blind side. Shaking off 2 defenders. Ball alive there for Pomerol as she goes to her forwards. It's Ruby Finch, the vice captain, with another big carry. Advantage there from the referee. Maycock on the outside. Big carry from the tight head.
Big carry, and Lancaster needs to hurry and set that defensive line. Great line speed and big tackle there from Joanna Clark.
Be interesting to see what York try and do here as Cox Kersley. Again, another massive carry in the tight, but there is a turnover there, but we'll be coming back to penalty advantage. As it begins to sort of spit with rain again, it's sort of threatening to rain as York look to see what they're going to do off this set play. They're looking to go sort of rugby league style, big run-up carries in the forwards, trying to get that forward dominance as the ref just has another word with the two vice captains, the two co-captains, of Lancaster. Tap and go from Pomerol. And it's a big run-up from the number 4.
Great carry there from number 4 in York.
Megan Miles, I believe, the Welsh woman.
Megan making miles up the pitch.
Very good, very good, very good.
Megan has been doing really well today. I feel like we've been saying her name constantly. She's been making those really dominant carries.
To make it clear, there is 2 Megans. They are often referred to as the M&Ms.
Other sweets are available. As York score!
That is a try for York.
Brilliant try for York. They should really even out the playing field, and now it is really anyone's game. This conversion may really make the difference that is needed.
As you pointed out there, they just scored just to the other side of the right-hand post as we're facing from the commentary tent. As you can hear on the mic, that has caused absolute chaos here on the sidelines.
There is love for this team, and there is love in the air on both ends. Both are rooting for their team.
If this conversion can be made, we'll be up to 12 all. What an exciting last 20 or so minutes.
But yeah, York just kept stuck to the plan, stuck to the guns. They kept carrying in the tide. All started off a tap and go. They were starting from just inside the 22, and they kept it in the forwards for a brilliant score just on the other side of the right-hand upright. Can Maddie Street convert? The crowd hushes as she lines up. Rain starting to pour down.
And the wind has just taken that ball and missed a conversion.
You saw the wind tug on that a little bit, didn't you? That's unfortunate. But
the wind can be really the biggest contender that you have to play with. The conditions, you know, you can only play as good as you can in the conditions. So really unfortunate there for York, but a great kick nonetheless.
And for those listening on radio, we're not in a stadium. We're on an open air pitch. We are exposed to the elements. So, you know, I completely understand why that miss was just made. So Lancaster in the lead by just 2 points, 12 points to 10. Second half, final game of Roses 2025. And was that touched by York as that ball went dead? The referee says no and is walking back to the halfway line.
It went straight to dead, so York now have the option to receive another kick or a scrum on the halfway line. A scrum has been called for York.
Yes, of course, if that had been touched by one of the York players, that would have been a 5-metre scrum just outside their try line and not a scrum on the halfway line. So this is an advantageous position here for York.
They really have shot this in their favour. If they can dominate this scrum, there might be another try on the way.
Lancaster, of course, still a woman down as they've had to name the scrum without a number 8 at the back for the time being. So York will look to get advantage here. It's always quite popular to keep this ball in, try and squeeze out a penalty maybe, but then the ref might be hot on any skullduggery. So we'll see how this goes as the sun is competing here with the drizzle. And it's...
Lancaster is keeping that pressure, even a player down, and it's a very impressive tactic.
The conditions are playing havoc here. York not really clicking into gear. Cox Kersley, big impact on Bajamo, the replacement loose forward. Pomerol out to street the fly half. Finch again with another carry.
Violent carry for Ruby Finch, knocking the poor Lancaster.
Just about keeps control of the ball. McNabb.
Good dominant tackle there from Lancaster.
Not an award-winning run there, unfortunately, from the former child actor. But the ball is still alive for York.
Big drive there from Jemima Spiller. This is actually her first season of full contact rugby. Before this, she was a touch player, so she's really come into it very well.
M&M's in a ruck.
Pomerol goes again to Norris, the number 8. Keeps the ball alive. Lancaster defending well here. York pushed back to inside their own half.
This ball will be slippy and the wind will not be helping. It really is a war zone on the pitch today.
You can see what York are trying to do. And it's a turnover. And it's Pavretto, one of the try scorers, with a turnover, and the ref is going to come back for a knock on, I believe, by York, so it'll be a scrum to Lancaster. York just couldn't get around the outside of Lancaster. Lancaster absolutely swarming over York in defence.
They're doing really well, especially with a player down. And we've just made a substitution. That is Lilius on into the loose head prop and Bella O'Geary off for a well-earned rest.
So for those of you listening on radio, Lancaster are still down a player. So it's 14-15. Lancaster in the lead by 12 points to 10 on the final game. Women's Rugby First of Roses 2025. Pressure coming in from York, but ball out clean for Lancaster. Do they strike a play? Bit of confusion out to... she goes on the outside. Step and a go on the outside.
Did they save it? A throwback. And they have caught that run.
Very good effort there. Very good effort there not to go into touch.
An amazing effort from Lancaster.
Lovely stop and go there to try and get on the outside, but that was composure from the fullback, Hannah O'Leary, and York survived. That could have been very, very dangerous there as the Squirrel Pomerol takes some attention. This is going to be such a crucial part of the game here. You can feel the tension, you can feel the nerves.
York have finally learnt their lesson with letting that 15 run around the sides. They are waiting for her to come instead of charging on and allowing her to step them.
This is quite a narrow pitch. Good defence there to use the touchline as your additional defender. Pomerol, after getting some treatment, is looking to put this ball in. Lancaster still down a player. The atmosphere here at the game is absolutely electric.
That's a really impressive drive from Lancaster there, considering that they are still missing a number 8. A ball went in the air, and that's a knock on from Lancaster.
They're just York are lacking a distributor in that back line. It looks like they're trying as best they can, but Lancaster are swarming well.
They are a player up, and they should be using that to their advantage. And they haven't yet clocked on that field is open and waiting for them. Lancaster has gone back up 15 players, and they are going to use that to truly get back up at York.
But it's York again with a scrum just on their 22 line. Pomerol barking the orders to the back line as pressure again from Lancaster at the scrum, but out to clear. What will Street do? Out to Katie Jackson. Straightens up.
Giving a spin, removing the ball from the grasp of Lancaster.
Gravin again, who has been on for quite some time, the replacement front rower, as the rain starts to really sort of pour down, and you can tell that with the conditions it is a turnover. Pavretto, the opening try scorer, with some big handoffs, turn out again, and referee comes back for the original knock on. Block is Lancaster's friend here.
So they're going to really want to capitalise on the space they've got out on the left wing here. A scrum is such a great opportunity to create space. It ties up all the forwards, and so the backs can really do some techie back stuff.
There is no real big worries from these massive York carries and forwards getting in onto these Lancaster backs. So they should be using this time to really get out on this wing, as you said. Just
a reminder that the official Roses result hasn't been decided yet. York men won the previous fixture. This match could very well decide this tournament, which is exciting. We don't know yet. Mathematically, anything is in contention here as Lancaster switch round to the blind side. Great covering tackle by Charlie Norris.
Violent tackle from Charlie Norris. Really took her down, and they are struggling to get back up from that beautiful, beautiful tackle.
It's Lancaster's turn to go into the forwards with pick and going. Still on their feet, up to the 22-metre line.
Really good groundwork there from Lancaster. That's something that we've been working on, making sure we keep that ball nice and secure. They keep that ball nice and secure in their rucks.
With a game this close, it could be that the referee is looking for...
Nice there, a penalty to York.
I'm not really sure what that was.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
The ref is saying offside. To be fair, it looked like the height at which Lancaster was coming at the ruck was potentially suspect. So it could be for sealing off, but we're not quite sure yet.
York should be looking to use this advantage, and the line out that is sure to come afterwards
So-
could be a big play.
2 points down. Obviously, anything could happen in this match. Drop goals, if listeners aren't aware, are quite rare in men's rugby. They're even rarer in women's rugby. Anyone in the York team who'd back to nail a drop goal?
I fear we haven't really practiced it, but it would be amazing to see Maddie Street pull off a drop goal if she got close enough. Same with Emily Baird, who's been practicing her kicking and has gotten so good at it.
What about Lancaster?
On the Lancaster side, we did ask, and it was laughed down by our coaches, and we were told definitely not.
Oh, and the referee calls there the throw wasn't straight. Now, a reminder again, we've been talking about new rules to rugby. If there is no competition at the line out, the referee will say that and it doesn't matter if the throw is slightly askew. If the referee judges that the opposition are trying to compete, then it does have to be straight. So again, it is a bit of confusion. It's windy, it's wet, but that is York will rue that throw not being quite straight.
The problem is the wind, and it's holding both teams back, I'd say. Lineouts are one of the times where you really want the wind on your side, but nothing to be done about that today.
So Lancaster here on the attack, and it's a knock on there. It's
Crowd is going insane. That is a truly good opportunity for York to take advantage of.
for the radio listeners, the commentary tent is sat on the York side of the supporter base. So you probably don't need me to tell you who made that knock on. But York now have the opportunity for the scrum. So we're still within the second half. Time, you know, the time. If York want to win this match, the time is coming upon them to make something of it. And referee. Oh,
a knock on York.
But Lancaster scrumming illegally there, and despite the knock on there, York have the reprieve. Also, for those watching or listening on radio, we were blessed with lovely weather in the week. It is cold today. The wind is making it feel like 8 degrees. It's probably about 12. It can't make us mind whether it's going to rain or not. That is playing a factor here.
It really is, and it's such a difference from yesterday, where the main contenders were the very, very hard ground and the high heat, having to take water breaks to get ice onto the pitch.
So York clear their lines, that penalty kick. They're on the halfway line. What will they do here? We're still yet to see a catch and drive. We're still yet to see a 1-2. Let's see what York do here from this line-out set piece. And
a great contest there from Lancaster in an impartial way.
So that was good competition from Lancaster, but they didn't keep the ball in field, and York have another go. Obviously, because it's cold, because it's wet, York throwing to the front, very easy for Lancaster to jump and compete. That was clean.
Lovely snatch from Louise. A lovely snatch from Louise. Oh dear, it's working in Lancaster's favour. The ball was not straight. Oh dear.
It's another scrum to Lancaster. This is going to be tense. Really, for both teams, they don't want to be on the halfway line. They want to be in the 22. They want to be in the other opposition's 22. With a game like this, with minutes left to play, this is getting very, very, very tense.
Lancaster won't be feeling comfortable on the halfway line, given that they are only 2 points ahead. They would really want to be spending this in York's half, potentially in their 22, hoping to make that margin a little bit bigger.
Lancaster wheel round that scrum. Referee says play on, and I believe York have come up with the ball there. So there was a lot of thunder, and York have been able to come up with the ball here just inside the halfway line. It's a knock on right in front of the Lancaster 2 and 3 supporters. 2s and 3 supporters, not their 2 and 3 supporters. There are more Lancaster supporters here.
Oh, what great chase down and pressure there from Lancaster. A good retrieval from York. And that line is already set and ready to go. The defence has been really impressive, truthfully, from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, Lancaster with a turnover there, trying to be a bit too ambitious with offloading. Lancaster trying to play a good game as Eudora tries to get on the outside. Great knock-on,
is a decider.
There.
This competition is going to change what is and what will be. Will Lancaster make a 4-year win, or will it be York's?
You could see the players are out there on their feet. The number 13 picked up the ball and was like, can we have the scrum? I'm out on my feet. Back to Charlie Norris with another massive carry. Keeps the ball alive. Fionn was on hand to receive that ball. Pomerol to the left-hand side. Big handoff there from number 18.
Maddie Street with the ball, out to Katie Jackson. Isabella's waiting there for that ball.
A double tackle there from number 9 and 12, two of my housemates.
Referee calling advantage.
This game really is so intense. It's a horrible watch, but an amazing view.
What a great occasion, though, that, you know, this is what is so good about rugby union. It can be as close as 12 points to 10.
Yeah.
But it will still be an amazing game of rugby, and this is what we want.
And it is still all to play for. Neither team is out of it yet. Anything can happen. Things can change in a matter of seconds in rugby union, and that is why we love it so much. The referee coming back to the advantage there.
And an advantage here for York to kick into the half time, to kick into the other half.
This is the decider of the competition, and it really is becoming quite a stressful atmosphere because it is so close and so exciting.
So, as far as we're aware, we're approaching about 10 minutes left. We're not entirely sure. So, it's not last chance saloon, but as York kick into touch.
It's getting down to crunch time, and York have gotten so much further up the pitch. Will they make another try? Will we get a simple game? Or will it become more and more competitive as the time goes down?
The atmosphere here is unbelievable. What an occasion of university sport here at York, here at the 22 acres on the final day of Roses 2025. If you have just joined us on this final fixture, you are watching live on Roses Live. You're also listening on URY, on DAB, and also at Bellrig FM if you are on Lancaster's side of the Pennines.
A true fight in the line out.
There was huge pressure there, and York get the turnover. Keeping it in the forwards.
Coaches and captains are biting their nails watching this. This will be the competition decider.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised they're biting their nails.
I don't know about you, but I would say I am actually more stressed now than we were at this point of our match yesterday.
Absolutely. It's a completely different position to be watching the rugby go.
You'll go out the back,
moving.
but it's read really well by Lancaster. Another advantage. Lot of that was a bit of that was Johnny Sexton-esque as they tap and go. York try and go down the blind side. Referee just in touch with the assistant as to who has the ball.
Trainer and team leader Charlotte Woolley. Oh, I can't say her name. She's going to hate that. The next year's president is in absolute anguish watching this game. She is biting her
The
nails.
officials still just in.
And Ella
still just
is
into,
smiling.
It's
A scrum's been called
scrum's
by
been called.
York. This puts them in a really good position. Lancaster, I'm sure, are being nervous, but a big scrum here from Lancaster is what they really need.
I don't want to give a commentator's curse, but there's no one marked on that blind side. Could be an option there.
Maybe curse away.
I've got the flag.
What will Lancaster pressure York at this scrum? Ball in from Pomerol, the scrum half.
Some new fresh legs being swapped on for York soon to get these scrums overpowered.
Katie Jackson with a big carry. The atmosphere here is electric. Can York pull something out the bag?
This
Onto
is
the
insane.
captain, Louise Hamilton.
Louise Hamilton getting ready and set, preparing for this ball. Out to the side. Will Imo make the final score?
York not quite into the 10 metres yet, but they're...
York has many teammates on this side micromanaging. It is a great listen to hear them shouting orders from the side of the pitch.
No one is hearing anything though. This is where the halfbacks have to control things. This is where Pomerol and Street earn their credit. No Harden books, unfortunately, in this university sport. But yeah, this is where their value to the team is realised. Advantage here from the referee. Apologies if you heard any choice language from the fans surrounding us.
A drive. Will they get across the line? It is so intense. This is a decider of the competition. This game means everything.
This is the final game. Regardless of what happens, this is the final game of Roses 2025.
And they've scored! They've scored! Amazing! This has put York in the lead.
Who's coming up with that ball? It's number 18.
Imo, a brilliant player and an amazing colleague. I am so proud of her. Izzy Garraway in shock at the side, a personal friend of Imo. The screaming is insane. Will they have this? Will the conversion seal this win?
So York are now in the lead, 15 points to 12. It is all still to play for. Kick to come.
It's a tough day to be a Lancaster player in the York crowd.
Tough conversion coming up for Street on the left-hand side. Again, York stuck to their guns, kept the ball in tight. Really, really hard to see who came up with that ball at the end there.
It was a good set of plays from the York team.
I'm just disappointed there was no drop goal.
Yeah.
Hey, still to come, still to come. And this match has not been decided, but it's now swung in York's favour. As Street is unable to convert, it is only a 3-point advantage. York lead the final game of Roses 2025, 15 points to 12. We're approaching the end.
We're approaching the final few minutes, and Lancaster are really going to want to put the pressure on, get that final try and secure the win here, but we're getting closer and closer to running out of time.
Lancaster need to have their heads screwed on. The game is not lost. There is still time and there's still a chance to even out the odds. This is the decider. This is the competition. This will decide who wins and who goes home with their heads held low. Imo on the ball again with a charge run up. Off-handing Lancaster, taking 2 to take her down.
That was the try scorer there.
Charlie
Pomerol
Norris
has been controlling things all game. Still going, Luke Norris. What a carry. Another penalty advantage. The fans around us are absolutely electric. So referee blows the whistle. Just some thoughts on this game as a whole whilst we just have this break in play.
Yeah, it's been a really good game. I think that the score really accurately reflects the work rate from both sides there. It's a really tight game and it's a really tight score. York
And
a retrieval, and Eudora has managed to stop that from going into touch. Good run.
Oh.
What a player. Whamley on the clear out, but York have regained possession.
Referee is...
And that is a penalty for Lancaster. Oh, and we've got 2 players down there, 1 from each team. So the time is off for that.
Again, it was one of those sort of wrap-around high tackles. It did look quite nasty. So we hope that Eudora Layson is okay. And also one of the York players is also quite winded on the ground as well. So that has allowed the coaches to come onto the field, bark some orders to these players and try and get some composure and try and keep calm heads as we enter the final minutes of this outstanding game of women's rugby union. As you can tell from my voice, it's getting hoarse. what a pleasure it has been to commentate again for Roses 2025. The referee's having a discussion with the assistant. The tackle happened in front of both of them, so we're just going to have some dialogue, see if it needs to be anything more than a penalty. The York player is back onto her feet. Number 17 there, Evie Potter, who has been brilliant. She's just come off the bench. Eudora Adelaideson just speaking with the Lancaster coach just to see how she's feeling. It's good to see the injury's not too serious. Yeah. So as we're on this break of play, I can officially announce that the results have been confirmed by the University of York Student Union, and it is of course Lancaster who have won a 4th Roses on the trot. So I can confirm that unfortunately, despite how amazing this game has been, it won't decide the overall tournament. That honour went to futsal. So it is another loss for York as a whole at Roses, but closer. And regardless, let's just focus on an amazing game of rugby union.
And what an amazing game it has been to watch so far.
Lancaster were unable to make touch there, and the replacement 21 trying to run her way around defenders. That was Isabel Keane. Shouts of offside, but referee remains unmoved. Maddie Street to Katie Jackson, another carry from the big industrious inside centre.
Lancaster still has a very strong defensive line. They are keeping shape and they are powering through these rucks.
Lancaster are doing really well to maintain such composure as they move into the last few minutes. I'm sure they are hyper aware that what is on the line here today.
It's very lateral there from York, and Lancaster have been pushed back. Big carry from one of the forwards again, restores a bit of gain line for York. Norris again, even despite a head injury assessment and a yellow card, probably has made countless carries in this game, and he has been at the heart of this amazing effort by the University of York women's rugby team. Lancaster, though, still very much in this game. This is not where York need to be.
Great defensive line there from Lancaster. They're keeping going. It's still all to play for. They're not out of it just yet. They are going to keep fighting until the end.
That was the captain, Louise Hamilton, the blindside flanker, with another carry. York's back row today have been industrious, as has Lancaster's as well. It has been an absolute battle out there of two incredible teams. And there's a strip of the ball there, and Lancaster in possession just inside the York half.
Lancaster is slowly creeping into the York half. This could all change depending on how these next few minutes go.
The rain starts pouring down. What will Lancaster do here?
If they get out of this back line, they may have a clean shot of the wing.
The crowd around us feel the nerves, shouting from the coaches and the players. Big defensive sets required here from the team. How composed can York be? How composed can Lancaster be? The ref pulls his whistle. It is a penalty. It is a penalty for not holding on at the breakdown. The referee checks his watch. There's still time to play. Is this the last play? He will have the honours.
This is so intense.
We don't even know. Is this the last play? Is it not? No one knows. I believe they're doing a play. Norris again for another industrious carry.
Come on, Lancaster.
I believe there's still some time to play, which is why York are trying to keep it into the forwards.
York's forwards have been very strong today, really causing problems.
Oh, big collision there.
It's being an absolute weapon, diving through that.
That was Finch there, the captain.
And the ball is out!
It's victory for York in the final game of Roses 2025. It is not enough
to win Roses, but it is a positive win. It is a positive end to a tournament that has otherwise been an unfortunate, historic defeat.
My mom's watching. I did last year.
Yeah.
It's like a thing I do every year.
Yeah, of course, just go for it.
Hola mami, otro año más, te quiero muchísimo y feliz día de la madre, ¿vale? Gracias por siempre estar ahí. Thank you so much.
And that was York's scrum half, Elena Pomerol, just sending some words to her mother watching in Spain.
I'm sure York are going to be really happy today. 2 matches of rugby played today, 2 York wins. That last try from York really coming in at the right time. We are hoping to get some interviews with players from both York and Lancaster. A sad loss from Lancaster in the lead until the final moments. But what a sight watching York celebrate. I'm sure that they're going to be really happy about this. They fought the whole way through.
Again, both universities, both very proud of their rugby union clubs, both men's and women's. Always the highlight of Roses is the rugby union fixture. I hope you won't accept my bias. I'm sure the sports are very, very good as well. But what a way, 2 successive tournaments last year was the men's, this year was the women's, that rugby unions closed out Roses. This is the year of rugby. Women's Rugby World Cup, as we discussed, is coming.
Yes.
As players and fans celebrate, I'm not sure if word's got around yet that unfortunately it is not enough for York to win Roses. But what a great game of rugby to still celebrate.
It's really nice for York. Obviously, they've had 3 consecutive losses against Lancaster this season, so I'm sure that bringing it back is really exciting for them. Lancaster, heads have gone down in the circle, but they should be so proud of how they played today. It was not a walk away at all from either side, and so Lancaster should be really proud of the fight that they put up today.
For context, in the last game that the first of both universities played, Lancaster won 62 points to 0.
Yes.
So this is you can see why this game means so much. It's not just about Roses. It is about a bit of redemption from 2 heavy defeats in the Buck season in Northern 1A.
Yeah, we've played against York in Lancaster first. I've played them about 7 times in the last 2 seasons. We've had the pleasure of being in the same league as them, so there really is more to it than just this one match a year.
If you're watching on TV, we're just wrapping up. If you're staying with us on radio, we'll be joined with some post-match analysis from some players from both teams in a second. But if you've been watching on TV, thank you very, very much. My name is Jacob. I've been your commentator today, and thank you so much to my 2 wonderful co-commentators from York and Lancaster.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.
So if you're still listening on radio, we should be bringing some post-match